to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most memorable reprises from musicals. We're going to be discussing some major plot points, so here is a spoiler alert.
Then a new life will begin.
Number 20. Dulcinea Reprise, The Impossible Dream Reprise, Man of La Mancha Reprise, Man of La Mancha.
Won't you please bring back the dream of Dulcinea?
It's kind of genius to have a reprise of your best songs at the end of a show. The audience will certainly leave the theater humming one of them. Man of La Mancha ends with the mad knight-errant who has been mocked and laughed at by virtually everyone he meets on his deathbed.
To right the unrightable wrong.
Yes.
He's surrounded by his faithful servant and the lowly scullery maid he's treated as a lady of honor. They sing reprises of his songs to remind the depressed and dying man of his quest to bring chivalry back to the world. Despite his death, his belief in goodness and honor has clearly rubbed off on his companions.
Onward to glory! I go.
Number 19. Stay Alive Reprise, Hamilton.
Where's my son? Mr. Hamilton, come in. They brought him in a half an hour ago. He lost a lot of blood on the way over.
As in many musicals, the characters in Hamilton are often associated with specific songs. The story of tonight and its reprise deal with Alexander Hamilton's disagreements with Aaron Burr. What Comes Next features a brief reprise of King George III's song about American independence.
You're on your own. Awesome. Wow. Do you have a clue what happens now?
But Stay Alive is a special case. Though the actor's the same, he plays two different characters to whom Hamilton gives advice before a duel. His son dies as a result of his duel, and the words he spoke to his good friend come back to haunt him as he and his wife watch their son take his last breaths. Number 18. The Song That Goes Like This Reprise, Spamalot.
So in every show, there comes a song like this. It starts off so low.
Given that it's a Monty Python musical, it's safe to expect that it's gonna be pretty nutty. The Song That Goes Like This takes aim at the kind of sentimental, inspirational songs you'd hear in other typical musicals.
Oh, well, here's the song that goes like this. Where is it? Where?
A sentimental song that casts a magic spell.
The Lady of the Lake returns to sing the song again in the middle of the celebratory Knights of the Round Table number. She pulls out every trick she knows. She does her runs, she rushes the tempo, she slows it down to a crawl. You're practically dizzy by the end of it. And then the scatting starts. Her liberties with the melody, along with her glitzy and revealing ensemble, take the number to unexpected heights of complete lunacy. Number 17. 38 Planes Reprise, Come From Away.
38, 38, 30, 38, 38, 30, 38, 38, 30, 30, 30, 38 planes.
38 Planes follows the dozens of commercial airplanes that had to descend on the unassuming town of Gander in Newfoundland and Labrador after being diverted from their flight paths by the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The company of Come From Away chants the lyrics as the number of planes touching down only grows. When the song reappears at the end of the show, it sounds much the same, but is filled with even more meaning as passengers finally return home. It's not just an emotional bookend to the characters' brief but profound time together. It's also a reminder of how each of those planes carried someone with the story, even if the show only tells a handful of them.
No, I'm fine, Tom. I'm fine.
Number 16, Not a Day Goes By reprise, Merrily We Roll Along.
Not a day goes by, not a blessed day.
Although it was almost universally panned by critics when it opened, this Stephen Sondheim musical offers an unconventional narrative structure, telling the story of a damaged friendship in reverse. The score of Merrily We Roll Along relies on callbacks and reprises throughout the show. Not a Day Goes By returns during the scene set at Frank and Beth's wedding, as Mary watches a friend marry another woman.
As the days go by, I keep thinking, when does it end?
Given the context of Mary's tempestuous relationship with Frank in the first act, it allows us to see the root of her disappointment in him. It's an aching song, full of bitterness and longing made all the more urgent in its second appearance in the score.
Till the days go by.
Number 15, Epilogue, Ragtime Reprise, Wheels of a Dream Reprise, Ragtime.
The era of ragtime had run out, as if history were no more than a tune on a player piano.
This historical epic begins with a fittingly ragtime-inspired prologue that introduces each of its colorful turn-of-the-century characters to the audience. After much tragedy and growth, the ending mirrors its beginning, but closes out with a sweeping reprise of Wheels of a Dream.
I see his face.
I hear his heartbeat.
I look in those eyes.
Sung by two lovers who died at the hands of a prejudiced society, the song represents their dream of the better America they hope their son will grow up in. The soaring tune closes the show, which is as much about how flawed America is as a nation as it is about how it has the potential to be better. Number 14, Wicked Little Town Reprise, Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Many God could ever plan, more than a woman or a man.
Originally workshopped in grungy rock venues in New York City, Hedwig and the Angry Inch is a vibrant show about trauma and transformation. Hedwig Robinson is a drag artist whose songs have been stolen by the man she loves. He becomes famous, while she falls into bitter obscurity. At the end of the show, the performer playing Hedwig transforms into the rock star she loves before our eyes.
'Cause with all the changes you've been through, it seems the stranger's always you. Alone again in some new wicked little town.
The character offers Hedwig the closure she needs, turning the song she wrote about him into a stunning number about searching for meaning in yourself and not others. By the end, Hedwig is exhausted but free.
So when you've got no other choice, you know you can follow my voice.
Number 13, Finale, The Old Red Hills of Home, Parade.
Farewell, my Leo, you're right here beside me.
Jason Robert Brown's score for Parade is a dramatization of the unfair trial and devastating murder of Leo Frank, a Jewish factory superintendent wrongfully accused of a heinous crime. The show opens and closes with the song The Old Red Hills of Home, a Civil War pastiche. Its description of the pre-Civil War South is a resounding and chilling reminder that not much had changed in the years between the war and the anti-Semitic campaign against Leo Frank. It's practically impossible not to feel goosebumps when the opening song comes back around to haunt us in the end. Number 12, Somewhere That's Green reprise, Little Shop of Horrors.
When I die, which should be very shortly, I want you to give me to the plant so that it can live to bring you all the wonderful things you deserve.
Seymour, the timid flower shop employee, has traded in his morals for fame and the girl of his dreams, all thanks to an exotic, man-eating plant. But the tables turn in the last act when the plant ends up mortally wounding Audrey, his now fiancé. As she dies, Audrey reprises her tender and beloved song about the perfectly ordinary suburban life she's always longed for. Her realization that she and Seymour can still have that if he feeds her to his plant is absurd and poetic.
You'll water me and care for me. You'll see me bud and bloom.
Even the most ordinary life is out of her reach.
I'll be somewhere that's green.
Number 11, I'm Not That Girl reprise, Wicked.
Don't wish, don't start.
The complicated friendship at the heart of Wicked is tested by a few challenging circumstances. Apart from their clashing wardrobes and political extremism, Glinda and Elphaba have feelings for the same guy.
He could be that boy. I'm not that girl.
But when it becomes clear that Elphaba is the one he loves, Glinda's take on her song I'm Not That Girl becomes a short but poignant emotional counterpoint.
There's a girl I know. He loves her so.
It's the tipping point for her. Glinda's come a long way from being the popular girl at Shiz Academy who was sure to have a happy ending. Now she's not sure who she is.
I'm not that girl.
Number 10, Joanna Quartet, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
I feel you, Joanna. I feel you.
With the murderous barber's deadly revenge plot in motion, the eerie love song performed by Anthony in the first act reappears. The various plot lines in the musical unfold in this reprise. Characterized by starts and stops as the perspective shifts, Sweeney expresses his grief over his lost wife and daughter, who he doesn't realize is living in the sadistic Judge Turpin's house.
And if I never hear your voice, my turtle dove, my dear.
He also doesn't realize the woman Anthony is in love with is his daughter Joanna, who in turn is being driven mad by her captivity in an asylum.
Come for me one day.
You stay, Joanna, the way I dreamed you were.
The beggar woman shouting that the city's on fire just adds to the suspense. If everyone could talk to each other, the whole thing could be figured out. But that's what makes good drama. Number 9, Do You Hear the People Sing reprise, Les Misérables.
We will live again in freedom in the garden of the Lord. We will walk behind the plowshare. We will put away the sword.
Jean Valjean's journey from a lowly prisoner to a fugitive from the law to a noble and honest Christian is finally complete. On his deathbed, he's guided to the afterlife by every character who died during the show. In Les Misérables, that's about the population of a small country.
Somewhere beyond the barricade is there a world you long to see. Do you hear the people sing? Say, do you hear the distant drums?
The song's revolutionary anthem, Do You Hear the People Sing, rings through the rafters as Valjean joins them on the other side. Though the lyrics originally described a better world for the poor and destitute of France, it takes on a new and haunting meaning in the finale. The better world, it turns out, would not be found on Earth, but in the afterlife. Number 8, All I Ask of You reprise, The Phantom of the Opera.
I gave you
Made your song take wing.
Terrorized once again by the Phantom, who is obsessed with her, Christine flees to the roof of the Paris Opera and her admirer Raoul pursues her. But the Phantom appears after they profess their love to one another and exit. Heartbroken, then burning with rage, the Phantom swears bloody revenge on both.
You will curse the day you did not do.
This culminates with the Phantom's sabotage of the huge chandelier in the theater. The tone of the show changes completely in this one moment. What starts out as a gothic mystery about an obsessive romance becomes a game of cat and mouse between the Phantom, Raoul, and Christine. Number 7. Climb Every Mountain Reprise, The Sound of Music. Maria does what any of us would do if we thought we were in love with someone. She flees the scene. But the novice's nun mentor, the Mother Abbess, convinces her to face her feelings with a rousing song about reaching your dreams. Climb Every Mountain reappears at the triumphant finale as Maria and the Von Trapp family escape from the Nazis and cross the Alps into Switzerland. In the show, the nuns form a chorus and reprise the Mother Abbess's song. In the 1965 film, it's sung by a chorus of singers in voiceover. But no matter who sings it, the tune that scores the family's triumph is a profoundly moving and uplifting note to leave on. Number 6. Tonight Quintet, West Side Story.
The Jets are gonna have their day tonight.
Tony and Maria's driving song after their romantic meeting on the fire escape comes back at the end of the first act, when all the characters' destinies are colliding.
Tonight, the world is wild and bright.
West Side Story is a musical all about competing desires. The Jets and the Sharks want nothing more than to obliterate the other. Tony and Maria want to be together despite their differing backgrounds. Maria's brother Bernardo and his girlfriend Anita want to protect his sister.
They will die. To stop them once and for all. The Sharks are gonna have their way. The Jets are gonna have their day. They're gonna rock it tonight.
The Tonight Quintet dramatizes these competing forces in this explosive reprise, with 5 timelines converging on the potentially deadly rumble between the gangs. Number 5. Memory Reprise, Cats.
Memory, turn your face to the moonlight. Let your memory lead you.
If you're only familiar with this long-running musical's biggest number, you might be shocked to learn the most popular version of it is technically the reprise. The mournful ballad is first heard at the end of Act 1, but reappears at the end of the show when Grisabella the Glamour Cat makes her last plea to be accepted by the other Jellicle cats.
The memory is fading.
Her song is so moving that she's chosen among all her fellow cats to journey to the mystical Heaviside layer. Memory's lyrics of woe and faded youth are stirring, and they leave plenty of room for interpretation from performer to performer. It's also one of the few songs in the show that allows for real depth of feeling.
Look, a new day has begun.
Number 4. One Reprise, a chorus line.
One singular sensation, every little step he takes.
Throughout the classic Tony-winning musical, we meet several dancers auditioning for a chance to be in the ensemble of a new show. Their stories of what they sacrifice for their dancing are funny and heartbreaking. However, it's hard to say how happy the ending is for those who are cast. At the end, as the reprise of one plays out, each individual dancer becomes swallowed up by the whole. Their bodies and identities become lost on stage. Despite being such distinctive personalities before, we realize they've been fighting for a chance to become a part of one indiscernible mass. Number 3, You'll Never Walk Alone reprise, Carousel.
And don't be afraid of the dark.
Believe him, darling. Believe.
One of this controversial musical's most memorable songs, You'll Never Walk Alone, is a tearful reminder of hope, compassion, and connection in troubled times. Its first appearance in the show is effective, sung when the callous carnival barker Billy Bigelow dies in a robbery attempt. But the reprise at the end of the show tugs even harder at the heartstrings. Forced to watch his child grow up in a shadow of shame, Billy's spirit is only able to find peace when he helps his daughter see that she can depend on others. Its emotional reprise is a big reason why the song is still a standard today. Number 2, I'll Cover You reprise, Rent.
Live in my house. I'll be your shelter.
Originally presented as a touching love song between Collins and Angel, I'll Cover You is essentially their vows to each other. Once Angel dies in the second act, the song comes around again as Collins grieves the life they might have had.
Sweet kisses I've got to spare. I will be there and I will cover you.
Though he's surrounded by the rest of their friends during the scene, he still somehow seems so alone as he repeats the promises they made to each other. What was once an upbeat pop song turns into a down-tempo, soulful ballad, nested inside a reprise of the show's signature number, Seasons of Love.
525,000 seasons of love.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Everybody's Got the Right reprise, Assassins. A group of malcontents explains their reasons for turning to political violence.
Everybody's got the right to some sunshine. Not the sun, but maybe one of its beams, one of its beams.
As Long as He Needs Me reprise, Oliver. The hopelessly devoted Nancy makes a sacrifice.
As long as he needs me, I know where I must be.
How to Wash a Check reprise, Kimberly Akimbo. A group of unlikely teenage criminals go over their scheme.
And everybody gets what they want. Everybody gets what they want.
Good. Now remind me, who does what?
The Beauty Is reprise, The Light in the Piazza. An overbearing mother has a change of heart.
There's a figure reaching out and then like so. And to me it is the most familiar tableau I know.
Road to Hell reprise, Hadestown. This song ends the show back where it started, telling the same story forever.
It's a sad
It's a sad song.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Sunday Reprise, Sunday in the Park with George.
So much love in his words. Forever with his cause.
The song Sunday first appears at the end of Act 1, as the painter Georges Seurat arranges the ensemble into a tableau of the famous painting that inspired the show.
Sunday by the blue, purple, yellow, red water.
It's a haunting, echoing piece of music that ranks among composer Stephen Sondheim's best. Staging the show's themes of immortality through art, the final number sees the characters from the first act return to resume their positions in the painting.
In our perfect heart,
made of flecks of light.
Once again, the artist creates harmony and perfect balance in the world through his painting, as the song echoes through the theater, seeming to go on forever.
White, a blank page or canvas, his favorite. So many possibilities.
Let us know which reprise made you most emotional in the comments below. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.